Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to continue working on our Keystone library. So this is kind of where we left off. We have the vestibule area on mine here, this little extension. If we hide in view, let's take a look. We have the staircase, the emergency staircase in there, and then we also have the elevator in this region right there. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do something about these columns, because when you walk into the library, you're not going to want to see just these bare columns. And also we're going to start doing some curtain wall on the outside, or actually some storefront glazing, so that kind of gives our library something to look at. So we're going to work on those. So I'm just going to unhide in view this and get back to our regular view. So I'm going to go to level 1. And in here, we could see our columns. And I'm just going to start with this column right here. And then basically we're going to move throughout. So it is up to you kind of how you want to wrap these columns. I'm going to show you an example of something, so you get to kind of see what I did. And then I'm going to go from there and show you how I did it. So if we go, this column right here I have wrapped. And let's go insert a camera view. Like this. And now we can see on the inside. I'm just going to come over to the bottom left over here, change that visual style to realistic. So what I ended up doing was I wrapped mine in brick. So there's a metal stud, there's some gypsum wallboard, and then brick. And I made it a veneer brick, so it's about a 1/2 inch thick, and that basically gets laid over that gypsum wallboard. So that's what I did there. So you could do something like that. You could actually tile it with a wood pattern. You could just make it gypsum wallboard and paint it. It is completely up to you. This is what I did, so I'm going to show you how I did it and then how to move forward from there. It's relatively easy to do. All right, so back to level 1 view. Just escape out of this camera view. So I'm going to start with this one right over here. And essentially we're just going to make a wall around it. So you're going to go to wall. And there's a couple different types of walls. So you have like metal stud, non-fire rated gypsum wallboard, which is probably fine for the columns. I don't believe you need a fire rated around it. We'd have to check the code to do so. And I'm just going to pick that one. So I go here and I'm then going to go to edit type. Well, let's do a basic one first. Just take the rectangle, draw it around. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically lock this in. So we're going to click on the wall. I'm going to align here with the inside of the wall, lock it, and I'm just going to work my way around so that the column is completely wrapped. So those metal studs, whoops, I clicked it wrong first. Remember, you click the item to stay stationary first. All right, so that is wrapped. Let's go take a look at the interior view. So I'm going to come over, camera. All right, so that's your basic wrap. Let's go look at realistic. So nothing basic. What we do see though is we still see columns. So let's address that next before we do anything fancy with it. We're going to go back to level 1 view. All right, so that column is in this neighborhood right here. I'm going to go to my 3D view, swing around to this side. I will hide this wall. That's some mystery curtain wall there I was playing with. And as you can see, that this only goes up, let's click on it, 8 feet. It's completely unconnected. Now my sample one I have it going up to 12 feet. So why 12 feet here and 8 feet? So when we draw a wall in on level 1, it's only going to give us 8 feet. But if we look at it directly from the left-hand view, zoom out here, right? Like, what am I doing with this space? So most likely in this facility or in this library, we're going to have a drop ceiling. So the ceiling is going to get hung from these beams coming down with a substructure, and then we're going to have that acoustical tile in there. Now, depending on how tall you want your ceilings will depend how high you want to wrap these. I would imagine that you would only need about 3 to 4 feet from here down to hide any sort of wiring for lights, telecommunications, plumbing, or anything else like that. So what we can do is go to one of our elevations. So I'm going to go to this elevation here. I'm going to hide and view this wall. I'm now going to go, all right, how tall do I want my rooms to be or my ceilings? So I can come up to align dimension. All right, let's save this. There we go. And I'm going to figure out how tall this is from the bottom of the beams. So that's 18 feet. Subtract 3 feet for any mechanical. So that gives me about 15 feet, 8 inches. So I want to extend that wrap up. So from 15, let's just say a nice even 16 feet. You can probably go a little bit higher with the column wrap as well. So I'll just go up to 16 feet. So we'll have approximately 16-foot tall ceilings. I'm going to come back to my level 1, over to here. Let's zoom in on it. Hit Control. Control. Let's make sure they're all selected. Okay, unconnected. Change it to 16 feet. Hit apply. All right. Now let's go back to that elevation view. First one. And now you can see that it's up. There it is. Let's go to the 3D view. And it looks a little wonky here. But there it is. We can see it coming all the way up. Oh, because there we go. And that's it. Now you can make that any color you want eventually. So you could leave it like that. But what if you want something a little bit nicer? You want this brick veneer. So let's fix that. Back to level 1 view. Hit Control. Select all these. All right. We are going to go to Edit Type. We're going to duplicate this. And we'll call it a column wrap 2 because I have a different one. Hit OK. Edit Type. So now the gypsum wallboard won't be the finish. So we're going to change that to just be substrate. I'm going to insert a structure layer. And we'll call that finish 1. I'll come over. I'll change the category to something. So here I have brick. But what if I want, I don't know, some sort of wood maybe or something like that, or paneling? I don't know. There's so many things you could do. I'm going to look for something different. So if I don't find anything I want, let's add some more. So I'm going to create and duplicate, create a new material. This default material. I will call column finish graphics, use render appearance, and now let's go find something. Let's go like wood, some sort of wood looking thing. All right, so I have all these different types of woods. I'm going to go to the flooring section of wood, and I'm going to find maybe like this beech wood, Galliano. I don't know. Let's take a look. There we go. So it's this flooring tile, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to hit OK or apply. OK. So now I have that on. I'm going to give it a 1/2 inch thick. Okay. Hit OK. And let's see. So it looks like I have some sort of constraints here. I'm not really sure why. Let's remove those constraints. Okay, so it moved it out just the way everything's aligned. So let's, and I'm just gonna have to go back in and realign some of this, not a problem, for that column wrap. So you can see like when it added the thickness in, it did it in such a way that it gave the constraints. So now, let's just look at it and make sure it's something that we want. So there you go. So I wrapped it like that. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to say, all right, I like that, so I'm going to use it. I actually like the brick a little bit better, so I'm going to delete this one and go with my brick. I just like it. I feel like it takes the outside, brings it inside, and it gives a little bit of a continuity between it. Let's go to level 1, but that's how you would do it. And there you have it. The only thing I need to do with the brick is I need to change my height. So I'm just going to click on these, hold down Control, unconnected, 16 feet. Apply. Now you're thinking like, I have a lot of columns here to do. Well, what we can do is copy these over. So any of the like ones we could just copy over, and any of the unlike ones we can either draw in by hand, or like these three we can make and then copy them across. So I'll show you how to copy them. Basically gonna hit Control like that. Come up here, click copy, make sure multiple is clicked on. All right, so I'm gonna click a comma point here on that side. I'm gonna come over and click that point. And I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna do this, that one. All right, come down here. All right, and I'm just gonna basically copy this pattern for all of these. All right, and I got this one right here, like that. And that's the majority of them there. Right click, cancel. All right, so let's see if I can see how many of these we can see from the outside. There you go. So those are wrapped. Done. So you can see here I got a few others. These are the ones on the outside wall. Let's address those now. So there's a couple ways of doing these as well. You should be able to, let's try it. If I copy these over, copy, multiple, I will click that same corner. Now I'm going to bring it over. There you go. So now, because of the way my wall is, there's actually a little bit of space. It's fine. I'm going to leave it, and I'm just going to go the rest of the way. If it was bigger and it intersected with the wall, like that, we may have an issue. So what it's showing is the intersection with the wall. I can delete that and then drag it to the wall if I wanted to. Now it's dragged to the wall, and so I would have that little space there, which I kind of don't like. So I'm actually going to drag, I'm going to delete that one. Do the same thing. So now that's the corner there. And if you want to take a look and see how it looks, we can go inside, camera, look at it, and let's go to realistic. So you can see how it comes in now and butts right up against the corner. I kind of like that, so I'm going to leave it for now. And there it is. Let's go back to level 1. All right, and let's see how many I have left here. So I can continue going on. So some of these are going to be relatively easy to do. So like that one's good. This will probably have an issue here. But if I just want, let's just copy them over now. You're going to have to do the same thing for the second floor. So just be aware of that. Oops. I think I selected the wrong point. There we go. So same thing, right? So we see we have that issue there. I'm just going to continue on with the warning because it's a warning. It's just going to tell me it's going to happen. I'm just going to have to go in and fix these. The easier way is to draw it in the way you want and then copy these over. But I'm ignoring warnings right now. Same thing. We're just going to get these warnings as we go through. Nothing to be too worried about. All right. So there we have it. Cancel. All right. So next thing I'm going to have to do is basically go in and clear them up. But I just wanted to show you how to wrap those columns and set the height for them. Next video, what we're going to do is we'll go in and we'll do the curtain wall for or the storefront glazing that's going to go on the outside so you can see it. But let's just take a quick look again at what we just did. And there we have it. So all of our columns wrapped, same height. Like I said, you can go a little taller. It's not a big deal, but it's a waste of material to go all the way up to the top, especially if you know it's going to get covered with ceiling. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you wrap the columns on the inside. And like I said, let's come over here. Item view, elements. You're going to have to do it for the second floor as well. All right, so that's how you wrap the columns. Pick the finish you want. And remember, for the upstairs, you don't have to do the same finish. You can do a different finish, completely up to you. Maybe on certain areas you want to do different finishes, but I kind of wanted to bring some of the outside exterior into the inside, so it kind of brings a little, I guess, unity to the project. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that and got something from it. Take care. Next time is storefront glass. Take it easy. Bye.